In one of my other videos, I was speaking about the reincarnation, rebirth, and this video relates to the same subject, but from the point of view of the importance of meditation. As I practice myself, I understand that sometimes we miss kind of attraction to meditation. Sometimes we miss inspiration or the right understanding why we should practice. So I would say that meditation is essential to know to die correctly. So all life we may practice in the formal way, sitting in a quiet place with our eyes closed, practice in our daily activities, and the goal would be to die in a peaceful way, to die with the right understanding. Why is that important? As I spoke in that video about rebirth, that the moment of death actually is the moment when arises and disappears another mind, and then it arises again in the new life. So that very last moment of the life where the person is dying influences where this new mind will appear, in which realm, in which world, in which kind of body. If the mind is with the qualities pertaining to a human realm, then the person will be reborn as a human. But still, the question will remain, what kind of country, what kind of family, what conditions will surround the person? This all depends on the last moment of the mind. And we should understand that the mind at that time, at the moment of death, is likely to behave in the most natural way. This is why we want to practice meditation. We want to change the habit of the mind. We want to change the grasping as whole, grasping as mine, to letting go, to being able to detach, to being able to be free from any insistent idea from our side, and just to accept the truth of happening. It is really important to learn to be present in the moment and not to be willing to change the moment, not to judge, not to reject. Because rejection brings negativity. It brings the roots of hatred. The three known roots that Buddhism tells us about are lobha, dosa, moha. Lobha is exactly the greed that our mind possesses and makes us come to a new incarnation. This is the greed to possess life experience, to possess sensual senses, sensual experiences, sensual pleasures, to possess objects, to possess I, mine, to possess understanding about the life and how we see it should be. This is the greed. Then anger, dosa. Dosa is exactly the rejection that we experience, that we don't want something to happen in this way and we want it to happen in a different way. So we can observe how much we disagree in all different situations. We might be not speaking about that, but there will be this disagreeing which take roots in dosa, in the anger, just on our mind. All the judgments that happen, all the dislikes, all the ideas that it should be different, they root into dosa. And then the strongest, the coarse representation of dosa is, of course, when we fight, when we argue, when we insist strongly on something. Those are the situations where our mind is not at peace, where there is the war happening within us, where there is the desire to change what is happening from outside rather than paying attention inside and finding the peace within ourselves. And moha. Moha is delusion. Moha is the most basic, the primary defilement, the primary contamination of our mind that brings ignorance to understanding and converts all that is just natural, just the nature of change, that is nothing, into something. And because of moha, because of delusion, there is greed and there is anger. Because if there was no delusion, there wouldn't be anyone to judge, there wouldn't be anyone to reject. So always, if the negative mind arises, be it greed or be it anger, they arise together with delusion. So the practice of meditation helps us to understand the truth, helps us to penetrate every moment and see that there is nothing to grasp and there is nothing to reject, because those are just changing phenomena. Whatever happens, it is impermanent. Whatever happens, it is without self. It just comes and goes. Like this, we train our mind to see rather change than the information, detailed information about what that change actually was bringing and what it contained. It is like driving on the road, on the highway, and seeing all different signs on the road. And those signs would indicate to a zoo, another one to some village, another one to some historical museum, and they will deviate your route. If you start going and seeing and checking every site, you will never continue your road towards the destination. You will always be filled up with more and more information, losing more and more resources, the energy of your vehicle, the fuel, losing your own energy of the day, extending your trip from one day to another, and getting lost on the road because you take all different directions following all the signs. So actually what we should do, we should just pass by those signs. Signs will still be there. They will still appear. With the speed that we go, more signs will appear. But we should just let them be there on the road, and we should not follow them. We should not go and discover and unpack and learn and immerse ourselves into what that sign is about. We should just keep going. This is the same about the nature of happening. The nature of happening is such that whatever comes, it has a potential to become something. It has lots of information about seeing and the form and the color. It has information about the taste, but we shouldn't be trying to know all of that, because nothing is real, nothing is permanent, nothing will give us eternal happiness, and nothing will liberate us from suffering. So we should rather learn with our everyday practice to abandon any sign that is arising and just keep going with our mindfulness and detachment. Like this, if we practice, our mind will learn to be stable and to be pure, because it will not collect, it will not accumulate. If it doesn't collect and accumulate, it doesn't develop some attitude, some idea that then it will want to protect and to reject whatever is different. Our mind will remain pure and stable. So at the moment of death, when the mind is pure and stable, we also have the ability with that mind to let go of every moment, of every happening, we will be able to accept whatever experience is there with peace, with patience, with trust. And this is what will create the peaceful mind, and which will make us free from suffering at the death as well as at the birth moment. Our new life will potentially be filled with quiet environment, with the conditions that will keep us in the opportunity to be in peace. I'm just saying potential and opportunity because still nothing is fixed, and karma is really great. We don't know what we already have done before, and everything that we created as a cause still should arrive and be there as the effect. But the conditions that we create, but by our today's actions, by everything that we fill into our knowing mind with detachment, first of all with mindfulness and then with detachment, these conditions will soften the results of our karma. So this is why it is so important to keep developing the right understanding and applying it in everyday practice, so that we just, first of all, prepare our mind and be peaceful at the moment of death, and also have the right understanding and not grasp. And also the mind at the last moments has this effect, has this phenomena of taking some image from our past moments of the whole life, something that was most memorable, most influential. It will just remember that, and this will give the future reincarnation by the power that was put into that moment that was lived at the past, about this memory that we have now. There are practitioners who can watch the mind in very detailed repetitions, and they can watch the mind not only in the present moment but backwards. With this practice, they can go backwards, including their past lives, and they can check and they can see what picture appeared on their mind before the death, and how was brought the result of their new reincarnation. I haven't practiced personally to that level, but with the practice that I'm doing, I can see that this is possible, and I can see that the more we practice, the deeper we can go into understanding of the mind, the more we can see and trust and know from our own experience. So by this video, I wanted to encourage you, to let you feel how everything is connected, so that you would be inspired to learn more, develop the practice, not only theoretically, but also by your own experience, and prepare yourself for your own death in case of the new life.